Hi guys, welcome back to Dxlynlocs. Bonjour, bonsoir. This will be an update on these coils. I don't know if you guys remember them. If not, I'll link the video somewhere in the video or the comments or description. But this will be an update on her hair. She is now 11 months locked, almost a year, and look at the difference. It's amazing. So in this video, this is her first interlock. So she's been retwisting the entire journey up until now. So we're just interlocking. So this is her before. This is how she walked in. So from here, I would just wash and retwist if that's what she wanted, but she wants to interlock for the first time. So even with her hair unwashed, I interlock the bulk of her new growth just to save us some time and make it a little bit easier on her and myself. So here the bulk has been interlocked, but not to the scalp, so it still looks frizzy. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash, and after washing, I'm gonna go back through her entire head and interlock to the scalp. Here I'm doing just a basic 4-point interlock. The point of interlocking or even retwisting is to maintain the hair and guide it, not really to get it super tight as if you just had box braids. So I'm not gonna go super tight to her scalp, but I'm gonna get it as close to her scalp as possible without it being tight or painful. And once again, I did interlock most of her new growth before washing. Therefore, a 4-point or maybe even a 3-point on some of them gets the job done and it gets it close to the scalp. So here I'm gonna show what I mean by 4-point interlocking. I start on the side, then I go up, and then I go to the opposite side, and then I go down, and that is a 4-point. Some people call it north, south, east, west. They use directions, but I just say up, down, side, side. Now during this appointment, she asked me a few questions about interlocking, and I'm gonna share with you guys the questions and answers. So pretty much she wanted to know what is interlocking, what's the difference between interlocking and retwisting, how is it gonna affect her hair in the long run, and does it look different, is it gonna cause it to break off, is it gonna damage it, things like that. And I've heard questions like that before, so I thought I should touch on it a little bit. So interlocking is pretty much the technique that you see here for maintaining locks. This technique, I would say, is ideal for people who are really active, who sweat a lot, who their scalp gets oily very quickly and they need to wash very often. Because if you palm roll or get a retwist, once you sweat, it's gone. Once you wash it, it's gone. It's not gonna last forever. Interlocking won't last forever either, but it will last much longer than a retwist. So pretty much the basis is to never go in the same direction twice. So right here, I can see that I already went in that direction and I'm not gonna go there again. So I go to the side and then I'm gonna take it up and then I'm gonna go to the other side and take it down. And that's that. Then I'm gonna go to the other one. And this is what I meant by a lot of new growth. This is one of the ones I didn't pre-interlock before washing, so you can see how much new growth I have to work with and have to go down interlocking until I get to the root. Now there are some concerns about dangers of interlocking, and interlocking can be bad, just as Interlocking can be bad if it's done incorrectly. If a retwist is done incorrectly, you can just wash your hair and it's over. But if interlocking is done incorrectly, you can't really reverse that unless you just comb out your locks or you take other extreme measures to reverse it. With interlocking, if done correctly, it eliminates a lot of those growing pains when it comes to locks, the lumps, the bumps, or whatever. So it creates a more uniform look around, all around. But it is possible to get, even if you interlock your own hair, to forget that you went that direction and go through it again, and you create a Y, and then now you have a hole in your lock. So it's important to be very cautious. And what I'm doing here, I'm pretty much just wrapping the frizz around her locks just to give her a neater look, because her hair still is not fully locked. It's come a long way, progressed very beautifully, but it is not fully locked yet. And she's also considering using the crochet tool that's used to create instant locks. She's considering using that to pull the frizz into her locks, which is something that is very possible. I actually have a video coming up on that where I do that to my youngest little locker, because his hair is very, very frizzy and he's over a year in, and his ends still have the little puff balls. So I do that to his hair, and I'm going to share that with you guys in a future video. But yes, so it's important to be very cautious when interlocking, very intentional when interlocking, because the effects, if there are any, they can be irreversible if you're wanting to keep your locks the way they are. So some pros of interlocking is that it has a neater look for longer if that's what you're going for, and it lasts much longer than retwisting. For example, you can go 6 to 8 weeks without getting interlocked, depending on how you prefer your hair to look. And you can get your hair wet immediately, and it won't necessarily change the look of your hair. You may get a little bit more frizz, especially if you're in the beginning stages, but you won't have that fro that you would have if you had a retwist. It is also important to consider how interlocking will affect your hair based on your hair texture, how many locks you have, and how you want your locks to look. Obviously, if you want your locks to be the thickest they can be, interlocking may not be for you, because interlocking is more of a compressed technique. It does make your locks it doesn't make them thinner, but it will not allow them to be as thick as they could be if you were to retwist. And some people actually prefer that. Like my client here, she has so many locks that it doesn't even matter that her locks won't be as thick as they could be. Her hair will still look full. So for somebody like her, interlocking is perfect. So this is what we're working with after her first interlocking. Everything looks really good. Her hair is so full and so beautiful. It's progressing very nicely. And to see where it started and to where it is now, that is the beauty of locks to me. That's why I love doing locks. I probably will do locks for a while, just because I love seeing the progress, the transformation, whether it be lock extensions or natural locks. I just absolutely love it, and I love when my clients love it. So this is a style that we did. She wanted a more put up professional type of style, and this is what we came up with. So this is basically a flat twist, and we did the flat twist and put it up into an updo. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everybody who subscribes and supports. Thank you for those who support on and off YouTube. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. It's the reason I keep going. So thank you. See you guys next video.